Aye, greetings from the Philippines. Dumaguete City to be exact. I'm giving it a second chance. I'm here for a month. Anyone who watched my channel will know I wasn't impressed with it the first time, but I'm going to give it a second go. And to be honest, I've been back 2 days and I've enjoyed it more than I did last time, so maybe I was a bit hasty in my assessments. So anyway, good news. I've got my new camera, which is a image stabilised. Cost me a few quid I didn't want to spend, but hopefully the benefits will become obvious. So right, let's get a little pan round so you can see where we are. We're on the boulevards. Obvious place to start filming here really, just because it's further away from the road. You walk down the other bit, so bloody noisy. I did start filming a couple of times, but I stopped because it was so noisy. I don't know what you did. Anyway, so we're in Dumaguete City. We're on the boulevards, and I'm going to talk about Thailand. Why am I talking about Thailand? Because he's speaking of Asia. I'm here for a month. I can't talk about Dumaguete every day. So we're going to talk about Thailand today, and we're going to talk about Thai women. I was going to do a video, Thai women versus Filipino women, but the truth is I don't know enough about Filipino women yet. And when I say Thai women, I know it's a sweeping generalisation. Well, of course it is. You know, I mean, everyone's different and there are exceptions to the rules. But on the whole, on my experiences, I love Thai women. That's why I stayed in Thailand so long, to be honest. That, the food, the lifestyle. So what is it that I love about Thai women? They're different, mate. Different to Western women in many ways. It's going to be pretty hard to put this into words really without sounding a bit dodgy. How do I express myself? First of all, Thai relationships are very contractual. I think they're contractual in all cultures, but they're particularly contractual in Thailand, Cambodia, Laos, that kind of place. They're more open about it. So the reality is, what do I mean by they're contractual? Well, if you have a relationship with a Thai woman, she has expectations. Tell me she has expectations. She has responsibilities. It's drummed into Thai women at a very early age that they have to look after their parents and their extended family as they get older. And that particularly falls on the youngest daughter. She, for whatever reason, she carries the weight. So bear that in mind if ever you get with the youngest daughter of a family and you're in a relationship with them, which I did on my second relationship. I had 2 relationships in Thailand. I mean, I had more relationships. I'm not talking about one night stands, that kind of thing. I'm talking about 2 long-term relationships. I had a 5-year relationship and a 2-year relationship. So it's contractual. They will expect you to help them to support their family. Not necessarily financially. Emotionally, in all sorts of ways. The point is, you've got to understand that their family comes first and will always come first, because it's been drummed into them from a very early age. I tell you what, it's gloriously hot and sunny here. This is probably the best I've ever seen the boulevard. Be interested in how this camera's picking it up. I don't know if I'm expressing myself very well with Thai women, am I? I might have to start the video again. It'll be really pissing me off. It's about the 4th time I've done it. So they have certain expectations of you and what you're going to do, and they will differ from family to family. I mean, my first girlfriend over there, she was a bit unusual because she was close to her mother, but she never really expected me to do much towards them. I think in the 5 years together, I lent or gave her mother, I don't know, £500 over 5 years, because it's all Angela asked me to give to her. You know what I mean? It's like with my second girlfriend, who was the youngest one, my God, we were constantly had bills for this, bills for that. And that's why the relationship split up. I don't mind supporting the family, because you've got to view it as your family as well. And it's not just Western people. It's just relationships in general. You know, so if you're a Thai guy and you're with a Thai woman, she's going to expect you to support her family as well. It's not like, you know, it's just like a Western and they see the money or whatever. It's just how it works over there. It's how it's always worked over there. But there's got to be a give and take. I did not like the mother of my second girlfriend. And that was the point, you know, when they're ungrateful and basically looking as an ATM, that's time to move on. But anyway, I have basically described the negatives. The positives is if you fulfill your contractual obligations, and I don't mean paying for it or whatever, I mean if you help them, you've got to pay the bills. And say, what am I trying to explain here? Put it this way, they will look after you, Thai women, like you've never been looked after, because they are eternally grateful for what you bring to the table. And I say this is just not Western men. I used to sit in the village dock. When I moved to the village, I was the only Westerner there really, and I'd marvel, you know, at night time when we had barbecues outside now, because there was a lot of socialising in the evening, you know, cousins and uncles and brothers and neighbours, and we'd all sit outside and have a few beers and eat some nice food. And I marvelled at how affectionate and how nurturing the women were, in the sense that they'll cut up their boyfriend, husband's food or whatever, feed it to him on a fork, you know, bring him beers and drinks, like basically treat him like a king. And you look at that and think, my God, they're in love. And this would go on, you know, for several months, and if they got drunk, they could do what they wanted to. But if any one of them, I saw it with the neighbour next door, they got drunk, didn't get out for work, they lost their job for a few days, the bird would be off. Yeah, that was it. And you sit there and think, but they look so in love. No, they're there, and they are model wives, model girlfriends or whatever, as long as that's their part of the contract, as long as the man is fulfilling his part of the contract, which is basically working, bringing home a salary and doing what they can for the family. And that's basically how it works. Now this may all sound a bit strange, but I mean, I think that's how it worked in the UK, or, you know, go back 100 years. But anyway, that's it. I'm laying my cards on the table. I loved it. I loved the fact that I didn't have to do a bloody thing. You know, I mean, in terms of around the house, I used to try to in the early days. We had what we call a dirty kitchen outside the house, because you've got them like kitchens inside and you've got the dirty kitchens which are outside, which is basically a sink and a cooker and that, because a lot of Thais don't like to cook inside. They think it's dirty, they think it makes the house smell, so you cook outside. First couple of weeks I was there, I woke up in the morning, we'd had a few drinks and that, there was washing up to do. So I'd go out and I'd do the washing up. And first time doing it, there's people in the village stopping and looking over and smiling. And I said to my girlfriend's brother, you know, what are they looking at me like that for? I said they've never seen a Westerner or man doing washing up before. And I thought it was quite amusing. Then Angeli found out, my girlfriend, what was doing it, and she went mad. What are you doing that for? People think I'm a bad girlfriend, I don't look after you. You know, you're not supposed to do things like that, I'm supposed to. This makes me sound like a real sexy chauvinist, doesn't it? But I couldn't get it, and I resisted it for like the first few weeks, thinking, no, there's no reason why I shouldn't Hoover, there's no reason why I shouldn't wash up. But then, my God, I got used to not doing it. You know, you'd go to bed at night, if I'd had too much to drink, I'd always wake up in the morning, or she'd wake me up and it was saying, we'll cook breakfast. You know, without even asking. You know, whenever you went out for meals, as soon as the food comes, she'd cut it all up, put it on my plate, basically serving you. You know what I mean? So from a man's point of view, I love that. It was so different to married life in the UK. You know, and I was happily married, my second marriage for 10 years, she was wonderful, but she was Swedish. So it's a very asexual country over there, you know, very, very equal. And I loved that culture as well, and I didn't mind it, and we were very happy. But to go to Thailand and to get treated like that was, it was something, there's some juggling over there, the local gangbangers. So it was, I loved it. Now I have no idea, and I'll tell you something else about Thai women. I mean, these are my ramblings. I know it's like I'm just prattling on and kind of basis. Thai women tend to like Western men, in the sense that Thais have a thing about pale skin. You can tell a wealthy Thai because they will look incredibly pale because they put bleaching. It's a class thing. Basically, the darker you are, if you've got really dark skin because of the sun, then people immediately associate that you work outside, you're a labourer or something like that, and you're poor. Because if you've got money, you don't have to work outside, so you spend your time trying to make your skin look as pale as possible. And sometimes it's farcical, because you'll see these people that just got white powder all over their faces, you know, there's far too much, but it's a big thing for them. So they like white skin, and they find it very attractive in men. And they've also got a thing about eye colour, because obviously Thais generally have brown eyes. They like the fact that Westerns have got, you know, blue eyes, green eyes, thin eyes, etc. Now you might look at that and think, oh, it's just bullshit, it's all about money, but it's not. I don't know if it's the same in the Philippines. I'm getting the impression here Filipino women are not as into Western men, in the sense that they will go with Western men, but I think there's more money elements involved. In Thailand it's not like that. I'm not talking about bar girls, I'm talking about that kind of thing. If you're a single guy over there and you're relatively young, you know, I'm not saying like you're 70 years old and some like 21-year-old Thai girl's going to be all after you. But you talk to any Western men, they'll tell you, if you're like, you know, relatively fit and young and healthy still, you go out in towns and villages, you'll pick up very easily. And we're not talking about money and that, we're not talking about long-term relationships. A lot of Thai women just like Western men. I don't mean it's a status thing, I just don't like them. And it's a Buddhist thing, there's no stigma there in, like, you know, having a one-night stand, all that kind of stuff, like I'm starting to feel that there is in the Philippines. There certainly is in Sikihor, my God. It's a lot tougher dating in Sikihor than it is in Dumaguete. Probably one of the reasons I'm looking forward to coming back in. So, yeah, you can feel attracted there. You can do all right there. You'll get well looked after there. But you got to keep it up. The point is, understand that there is a contract there, in the sense that they expect you to fulfill your roles. If you start getting fat and lazy and not bringing home the bacon, you will be gone. You will be out the window. It's I was going to keep walking down here, but I can hear music now, so I'm going to come back up again. So yeah, understand that. And if you can understand that and accept that, if you can accept that that's your role, in the sense that, and you can love each other. I mean, I'm not saying they won't, you know, it's not contractual in the sense that it's just for the contract. It's the point is, they will fall in love with you because you are providing what they've grown up expecting to get, and they will think, generally, I mean, obviously they're gold digger, won't, this good man is doing what a man should. If you cease to do that, start taking the piss, not bring up, then, you know, becoming lazy. I mean, Thais, like for me, they're very active and they do a lot of stuff. Don't like laziness, it's frowned upon. So, you know, basically do your part, you will be loved and you will be happy. Accept the relationships what they are. Don't try and change it. Don't go in a relationship with a Thai woman and think, you know, tell you what, well, you know, I'm not going to help the family, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that. You know, then the relationship ain't going to go anywhere, mate. You know, it's as simple as that. And don't view it as gold digging. You've got these Westerners saying, you know, oh, they're just gold digging. It's relationships over there. Every Filipino guy, a Thai guy, will be expected to help and support his wife's family. Because as far as they're concerned, once you marry, you become an extended family. You know, in many ways, you've got the same parents now, if you know what I mean. It used to amaze me how much money the Thai people would give, because I was in a village where most people were earning like £6-7 a day, but they'd be giving like £10-15 a week to, you know, the girlfriend's parents, that kind of thing. You know, a lot of money for them. You know, and I never heard much complaining about that. That was just the culture. What I did hear a lot of complaining about was some Westerners. who would be giving more than that, but could afford to give more than that. And they'd be like, no, I'm not doing it anymore. I gave them money last month or whatever. And then they wonder why the relationship goes south and they fall out. Because as far as the wife or the girlfriend's concerned, you've broken the contract. And if you've broken the contract, why shouldn't they break the contract? And if you've been stupid enough to build land and put it in their name, then they're going to start thinking, well, he should be supporting my family. He's not. So what loyalty do they have you? And that's how you lose the house, and that's how you lose the land and things if you don't take precautions. And in many ways, I don't blame them. It's at the end of the day, if you've got like an attractive 35, 40-year-old wife and you're 65 years old, and you've got money enough to afford a reasonable lifestyle, and you're begrudging giving some of that money to her family, of course she's going to get pissed off and jealous. Of course she's going to start looking for a Thai guy after a while, and then it'll start fermenting in her head. But isn't it the same with any culture? So what am I saying? I'm saying I like Thai women, but know what you're getting yourself into. I think this could possibly be one of the worst videos I've ever done. For some reason I can't focus. But anyway, I'm going to publish it because I need to get some content up there. I hope you enjoyed it if you're watching it. And if you do, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to go now. I'm going to go and get a coffee in Ground Zero, and I'm going to make another video in there. Got to bang the content out, you see, because I haven't done it for a few days. I've had no camera. Thanks for watching. Bye.